prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. God prepare me to be a sanctuary,
pure and holy,
pure and holy,
tried and
true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Vanessa and Helena, for opening the service with your beautiful voices and such beautiful words to set the tone. Yesterday was the winter solstice, which means that we're heading into the darkest season of the year, and it's really important for us to find light whenever and wherever we can. As we just concluded our Hanukkah celebration, our Hanukkah holiday, there's this festival of lights. We don't just let that light die down as it ends. We actually continue to bring light and to kindle the light throughout this season and to find all of the ways in which our lives are brighter in the small ways and the large ways. And for me, tonight, it's an extremely special occasion because my family has actually come here to join us. We were supposed to be next week in Israel celebrating my nephew's bar mitzvah. We had a beautiful celebration and many blessings last week, and they have pivoted, as it makes a lot of sense, to going on a cruise, leaving from Miami, so we get the bonus of having them here to continue to kindle that light and spread the light for us here at Temple Beshalom. So I'm so happy to welcome my brother and the whole mishpacha, and as well as my aunt and uncle who've come down from Delray. And my brother, I would like to welcome up the family to help kindle the light of Shabbat and the sweetness of Shabbat with Kiddush. So whoever from my family would like can join us at the Bima. And Ricky and Erica, the bar mitzvah parents, will begin the blessings on page 2.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
We continue with Kiddush on page 5.
Vayir vehi voker yom hashishi v'chula hashmayim b'haaretz v'chol so'on v'yachal alhim bayom hashvi'i malachto asher asa v'yishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol malachto asher asa vayavarach Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'yikadesh oto kivo shavad mikol malachto asher bara Elohim la'asot.
L'chaim. And as the Loiben clan is having a little l'chaim over there, I'm going to ask us to turn in our prayer books to page 6, and let's read together this beautiful blessing, this prayer. It's on the bottom of page 6. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and a more meaningful life. We continue page 13 with Shir Chadash. Page 13. I'm going to get out of the way here.
Never in the way, Rabbi.
Shiru Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai shir chadash.
Join us.
Shiru Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
continue now with Lechado D. It's found on page 20. We're going to do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the last verse, not on the first verse, but on the last verse, the custom is to rise and to face the entrance and to welcome the Shabbat bride.
השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בליל שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבתי לך דודי לקראת כלה בליל שבת נקבלה התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נקלח לך דודי לקראת כלה בליל שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עצרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמונה המתגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בליל שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בליל שבת
We remain standing and turn to page 28 for the call to worship Baruch Hu, and we face toward the east.
La
Please be seated. We continue with Ahavat Olam, page 32.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mizvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mizvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, B'shochbenu u'meinu, Nashiach lechukecha, V'nishmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha. Le'olam ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mizvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta.
Turn to pages 34 and 35 for the Shema, then followed by Ve'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha. Hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anachim mitzavecha hayom al levavecha. V'shinafta levanecha, v'dibarta ba'am, v'shivtecha b'leitecha, uv'lechtecha v'aderech, uv'shochbecha uv'kulecha, v'chshartam me'od al yadecha, v'chayu letotafot bein einecha, v'chafta al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tizkeru, ve'asitem et mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzetem me'eretz Mitzrayim, me'od lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Thank you, Zach. Beautiful, beautiful. Our next prayer is the Micha Mocha. It's found on page 40. This prayer is often talked about as the transition from slavery to freedom. This week I read a commentary that suggested it's less about this transition and perhaps more about reunification. the reunification of the Israelites with their freedom. I love this idea because it suggests and reminds us that freedom is the default setting of our universe. Yes, sometimes we can become distanced from what is rightfully ours, but Michamocha celebrates not just the freedom of the exodus from Egypt, but the idea that, like it says in our Constitution, that we are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let us celebrate the freedoms we have, and let us work toward expanding that freedom for all those who have those inalienable rights. Michamocha, page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה אלה, נורא תהילות עושה אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ובניך, ויגע לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי אנו אמרו, זה אלי אנו אמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאללה
We continue, page 42, praying that we should have a Sukkot Shlomecha, a shelter of peace. We all need that shelter of peace. Hashkivenu, page 42. Actually, page 43.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among shelter from life's storms.
I invite all who are able to please rise as we turn to our central prayers, the Amidah, beginning on page 46 and continuing on the even-numbered pages. Adonai, Shabbat yiftach u'fiyagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh Hakol, Ve'zocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Lechayecha Kol Atavra Lehoshia. Mashif HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechayech Chaim Bechesed, Mechayech HaKol Berachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim Verofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayem Emunato, Ishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gerurot, Umidomela, Melech Hemid, Umechayeh, Umasmiach Yeshua, Bene'eman atah lahachayot chakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We continue silently with the prayers on the pages or the prayers in our hearts, and when you are finished, you may be seated.
Page 62.
Yehiyu leratzon imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri vegoali Adonai tzuri vegoali acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock, and my Redeemer. Levatzon imrefi ve'egyon libi lefanecha. Adonai, Tzori ve'goli. Adonai, Tzuri ve'goli.
Shabbat Shalom. Last we left Jacob, he was weeping over his son after learning Joseph was killed, torn apart by wild beasts, or so he was told. We feel Jacob's heart as the shock and devastation hit all at once. A few chapters later in our Torah, and a few weeks later in our time, we imagine a lifetime of agony as Jacob mourns his son. Every day must feel like an eternity for our forefather, which is why this week's Torah portion, Vayigash, is so intense as Jacob learns that the fate of his son is in fact not what his other sons had led on. They inform him, Joseph is still alive. Yes, he is ruler over the whole land of Egypt. His heart went numb, for he did not believe them. And their reunion was nothing short of sweet, as the Torah tells, Vayira elav, when they saw each other. Vayipol al tzavarav, they fell on each other's necks as they embraced, and they cried, Ode, for a good while. I have read this text several times, and yet this year I can't help but picture all of the videos from a few weeks ago as the hostages were released back into the arms of their families. They too fell on each other's necks and cried, Ode, for a good while. Before, just an image in our heads from a narrative long ago, or maybe we could imagine the reunion of loved ones after a long time, or a surprise visitor who came to town. But now, the haunting reality of our friends and family in Israel who didn't know if they would ever see their loved ones alive again as they embrace in an unbelievable setting. 3 weeks ago, I was in Israel during the ceasefire, as every day hostages were released from brutal captivity. I went with leadership from the Reform movement on a solidarity mission to be with Am Yisrael, the people of Israel, to bring them comfort and strength and serve as witness to our people in our homeland. On the third day of our trip, we met with a couple who live in Kibbutz Gezer. When the meeting was set up just a week prior to our trip, Lee and Shelley had a brother and sister-in-law, Keith and Aviva Siegel, who were in Gaza after being taken hostage by Hamas on October 7th from Kibbutz Aza. Over the weekend before our meeting, Aviva was actually released. Thank God. And they were reunited with their sister-in-law. And Aviva was united with her children and the rest of their family. I cannot imagine what that feeling was like. Not only that first moment, but the subsequent time they had spent learning about the long, painful, and impossible journey that she had in captivity. Having the opportunity to meet someone who was reunited with their family member just days before and had come from the hospital spending time with them just moments before our meeting was nothing short of unreal. There really are no words to describe that. But what's even more unbelievable to me is that in a one-on-one conversation with Shelley after, she said, that she is struggling to take off what she called her hate-colored glasses. I was completely shocked to hear this, as her sister-in-law was just released by the terrorists that captured her, and her brother-in-law remains in Gaza to this day. It certainly seems like a reasonable time, in my opinion, to keep the hate-colored glasses on. But she said they didn't fit on her so well. She was a peacenik in her heart. And what could I possibly say to that except drop my jaw? People's resilience and spiritual resistance is nothing short of inspiring. I pray that Aviva's journey toward acclimatization is one filled with love and support of our family and friends, and I pray that Keith is released from Gaza immediately. I met many people and heard real accounts of raw emotional testimony, and yet, while I went there to show support and give those who we met a sense of strength and comfort, I left feeling comforted and supported by our interactions. I'm completely in awe of what our Reform rabbis are doing in Israel. The Israel Movement for Reform and Progressive Judaism is the Israeli equivalent of our URJ, our Union for Reform Judaism. A few years ago, they noticed a need that the communities in the periphery of Israel, especially the kibbutzim and moshavim communities, were very secular and therefore did not have local synagogues. They created a program where rabbis would have a region for which they're responsible, and they moved from town to village to kibbutz, leading services, programs, learning, and life cycles. This program has been incredible in community building and relationship building, and those who have taken advantage of have such a beautiful, deep, and meaningful connections with their regional rabbis. One of the regions is called Sha'ar HaNegev, which comprises 10 kibbutzim in the western Negev, right outside of Gaza, often referred to as the Gazan envelope. Rabbi Yael Vergan, a dynamic and inspiring rabbi and a lovely human, once focused on connecting people to their spirituality and the richness of our Jewish traditions, and has had to shift entirely after October 7th, as her community consists of the kibbutzim tragically affected the most by the events of that catastrophic day. We spent 2 days with Rabbi Yael. The first by the Gazan border in the now mostly evacuated kibbutz Dorot, a kibbutz that did not have terrorists enter into it because they were killed in their fields after having run out of ammunition. But had they not been stopped, they found that Hamas not only had a map of their kibbutz house by house, but even know in which bedrooms the kids slept and which houses had big dogs. The two women we met, amazing peace activists who used to drive people from Gaza to Israeli hospitals who were in need, said that the information likely came from a Palestinian man from Gaza who lived on their kibbutz for 30 years. One of the women didn't blame him, though, shockingly. As her voice broke as we gazed over Gaza from a viewpoint, she said that she would have done the same had her family been threatened. I will never forget that moment. The second day with Rabbi Yael was in kibbutz Mishmar HaEmek, a kibbutz that opened their doors to the Nachal Oz community, one of the most tragically affected on October 7th. By that afternoon, they were already making space and have since extended the invitation to house this entire kibbutz for a year, at least. We spent that morning speaking with survivors of the attack. One of them is a lifetime peace activist. He says, after all this, after all, he can't wait to get back home, and he still believes that peace is possible. While many others would likely not agree with this sentiment, I don't think enough people understand just how peaceful and open-hearted and progressive the majority of the people living in the kibbutzim along the border are. That's what adds heartbreak to heartbreak. They were working to build bridges and create a space for a shared society. But the story isn't over. The end is not yet written. Just like Jacob and Joseph, just like in their narrative, it takes time and spans decades and has extreme highs and extreme lows, so too is this. And even amidst the countless accounts and devastating facts over and over, we spoke with people, from those directly affected to Reform rabbis to the members of Knesset that we met. that there will be a morning after. There will be a time when the border community moves back home. There will be a time when they feel safe putting their kids to bed at night. There will be a moment when they once again share simchas in their social hall. That time probably won't be very soon, but it will be. We must see it. We must believe it. As we enter into the darkest season, we know that spring comes next. While there are no winners in war, we will persevere, and we will do it together. We are a small but mighty community, and our love of life and will to live is indestructible. Let our spirits strengthen one another and continue to bring light, hope, and prayers of peace for all of us and for the entire world. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi, for those beautiful words and for representing our community in Israel. Thank you. We take a moment now to pray prayer of healing for all those who are in need of healing, including those hostages that are still being held captive, all the innocents that have been hurt in so many ways through the conflict, and as well those who are in need of renewal of body and renewal of spirit, perhaps here in this room, or your friends and family that might be at home or in the hospital recovering from surgery or illness. And if there's a name that you would like added to our prayers, I'll ask you to please rise and mention those names out loud so that everyone in the congregation can pray on behalf of the people for whom you're praying. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My two grandsons, Ari and Ezra Geller, are working in Israel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Norma. Thank you. Thank you.
Cindy Briggs.
Thank you. Thank you. We pray together a prayer of healing, El Na Rifana La. It's found on page 373, I believe. Yes, page 373.
So this particular setting of this song, to me, always sounded like it has a heartbeat. So you can try to imagine that as you hear this powerful prayer for healing. And Vanessa Cohen has joined us for this to model a kind of a droning part that we would love for you to join with us and sing with us. And then if the other parts, there's a couple layers to this song, if they move you, go ahead and flip around and do what you want. And Alan, thank you for playing the Shruti for the first time. El Narifanala, El Narifanala. Try it. El Narifanala, El Narifanala, El Narifanala, El Narifanala, El Narifanala, El Narifanala. Moses cried, Hail Miriam, Hail Miriam, this I pray. And Moses cried, Hail Miriam, Hail Miriam, this I pray. Hail Narifanala, Hail Narifanala, Hail Narifanala, Hail Narifanala, Hail Narifanala, Hail Narifanala, Hail Narifanala. Rifanala.
Beautiful. Turn to page 282 and rise and face toward Jerusalem for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon l'kol, לתת גדולה יוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כהרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם, ואנחנו פורים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר וחי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We take a few moments now to remember all those who came before us, those who may have died in years past at this season, and those who may have died in recent days. As a congregation, we remember the more than 6 million Jews that were murdered in the Shoah. Remember all those who died in the struggle to reestablish the modern state of Israel and have died since that time and continue to die, making sure that our homeland exists for us and for Jews everywhere. Remember all those who perished in the name of liberty, freedom, justice, and righteousness. And we remember as well all the innocent victims of hatred, ignorance, terrorism, disease, violence, and natural disasters. On this Shabbat, remember friends and family whose yortzites are being observed and whose names have lovingly been inscribed on plaques, which are in our alcove of remembrance. Remember Ann Alpert, Ray Chaplin, Sandra Dreyfus, Walter Falk, Rabbi Harry Jolt, Shirley K. Kravitz, Becky Munchik, Ruth Nodowitz, Joseph Packer, Chaya Claire Rosenbaum Raviv, Hannah Silvers Rosenfeld, Esther T. Rubin, Molly Root, Richard A. Sharpstein, Sidney Sharpstein, Esther Singerman, and Marjorie F. Ween. Remember as well friends and family whose yortzites are being observed at this time. Remember Norman Amster, Samuel Bernard Aronson, Jewel Bloom, Milton Bond, Robert Brayman, Anita Lublin Channels, Kathleen Essick, Hal Etkin, Shirley Fleming, Alan Frank, Bernice Frankel, Eva Freeman, Wilbur H. Friedman, Lucien Gabrielle, Harold Gotts, Howard Philip Goldberg, Marie Greenberg, Marilyn Hellman, Ethel Hoberman, Suzanne Krasnoff, Pearl Anna Kooten, Reuben Kooten, Michael Leeds, Gertrude Lesser, Neil Levinson, Frida Ostro, Arthur Rosenberg, Albert Rubin, Seymour Rudenberg, Irma Sarah Samick, Robert Shevlin, Alex Soren, Beverly Spar Kessler, Samuel Lewis Tapper, Peggy Treadler, Sonia Zakroisky. Remember as well friends and family who've died in recent days, and their families remain in the shloshim of mourning, in the 30-day period of mourning. We remember Anita Safran, Ruth Braun, Tanya Krill, Rita Lee Rafey, Rabbi Dr. David Ellenson, Miguel Oliveira, Lieutenant Nathaniel Menachem Eitan, and Charles Gratz. And if there's a name that I haven't mentioned, or there's a name you would like to mention, you're in a period of mourning, you have a yortzeit, I'll ask you to please rise and mention those names, and please remain standing as we're all going to join together for Kaddish in a moment. Thank you. Thank you. Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, may the memory of all the righteous in our lives and in the world be a blessing as we rise, as we're able with one voice and recite words of Kaddish page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon ufchayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yahei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Viet Hadar, Viet Aleh, Viet Alal, Shmei, Dekudisha, Berechu, Le'ela, Min Kol, Birchata, Vishirata, Tush Bachata, Venechamata, Da Amiran, Bialma, Vimru, Amen. Yehe, Shlam, Araba, Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, Vimru, Amen. O say Shalom, Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all of you more and comfort all who are bereaved and send healing to all who are saddened, as together we say, Amen. Please be seated, except for Phyllis Winston, who's going to share some greetings and announcements on behalf of the board.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. It's good to get a response. First of all, as the rabbi said, my name is Phyllis Winston, and I'm a member of the Temple Beth Shalom's Board of Directors, and I am co-president of Sisterhood along with my wonderful daughter, Kim Haber. I have to say, because she is wonderful. Anyway, moving on. I also want to say thank you to the rabbis for the beautiful service, Rabbi Leuben for a very inspiring and warm sermons. I never know what exactly, but your speech, your dialogue tonight was absolutely wonderful. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to Vanessa and Helena for absolutely incredible music tonight, and Vanessa also joining in. So there are two Vanessas here, so Anyway, moving on for why I'm really here. I'd like to highlight a couple of days and things for you. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, December the 23rd, we are having our Torah, bless you. We're having our Torah study at 9:30, and at 10:30 will be our Shabbat service. Tat Shabbat will be at 10 o'clock as well. The temple will be closed on Monday the 25th in observance of a legal holiday. It may have other names, but we call it a legal holiday. Anyway, moving on. There's a few things going on here, as always. First of all, I do want to mention Mitzvah Day. You may know that we have a Mitzvah Day coming up on the 4th of February. And there are many projects for you to participate in, join in, volunteer for, so please look into it because it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, and we're doing things for the community at large. I will plug Sisterhood at this moment. They got me up here, I'm taking advantage. We have a project we've been doing for years now, the New to You. It's a clothing drive. So I ask you to please look in your closets if you have clothing that you're not wearing any longer, your children, whomever, please donate gently used, clean clothing. I will repeat, gently used, clean clothing. Bring them to the temple on Mitzvah Day. You can bag them neatly folded. You can put them in age-appropriate bags, and we will sort them and give them to different organizations such as Lotus House, veterans. We also have the breast cancer group that we give to, and a few more. So please, clean your closets and let's make good use of things you're not using. Then the big news is Shalom Fest. Anybody ever heard of Shalom Fest? It's coming up. That is February 24th at 7:30 here at the temple. It's a great event, and the proceeds are really going to, and they're going for buying a bond for Israel. It will go in Temple Beth Shalom's name. It's a fun evening. There's a lot of music, food. I guess we can say drinks as well. But it's a great event. Please look at the website to get all the information. I'm sure you're receiving things in the mail, but please join us. It's a great evening. It is a big fundraiser. And as I say, the funds are going to support Israel, and we're sending a bond to Israel on that. And check the website for all the other events that we have. And let me say Shabbat Shalom and thank you.
We're going to conclude our services before we get out to the Oneg with Oseh Shalom. I'll ask you to please rise and sing from your lungs and your hearts, and let's make some peace.
Shalom, Bim Romav, Uyase, Uyase, Uyase Shalom, Uyase, Uyase, Uyase Shalom, Uyase, Uyase, Uyase Shalom, Aleinu. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bim Roma. Oh, say shalom. Bim Roma. Uyase, uyase, uyase shalom. Uyase, uyase, uyase shalom. Uyase, uyase, uyase shalom. Aleinu. 1, 2.
Let's see those hands.
May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Join us for the Oneg, please.